What's up, guys? It's Clark Fahrenthold back here with VegasOdds.com. Just fresh off, MGM started releasing a lot of their lines for not only the All-Star Game, but for the Home Run Derby itself. So I figured, with the Midsummer Classic upon us, it's best to go ahead and look at those two events. Now, I thought about possibly leading us in the way of putting money down on Schwarber, or possibly the idea of putting money down on an old-timer like Pujols just for some sake. Maybe the nostalgia of the last tournament kind of juices them up, but I decided to stay away from that. For the All-Star Game itself, that's where I find my bet. The over-under today was released at 8 runs, and that's what we're going to be focusing in on. I personally would suggest strongly, again, that we go ahead and take the under 8-run total between the National League and the American League. Now, you may say to yourself, all right, hold on. All-Star games, if you look at compared to the NFL or perhaps the NBA, it's offense-oriented. That's not how it works in Major League Baseball, and certainly not historically. Ever since 2006, there's only been a total of 3 games that have crossed the 8-run threshold. Twice 9 runs and once 14 runs. Those appear to be the anomaly. What I also think is important to consider with this is that currently, if you've been following the reserves coming in, there is a lot of guys that are going to be missing this All-Star Game that provide some serious power. Mike Trout is a GOAT of the All-Star Game. Back-to-back MVPs in 14 and 15, he won't be there. You're going to be missing J-Ram. He's not going to be there. Andre Gimenez is going to be taking a spot. Also, on the National League side, you're missing a couple names too. I mean, we're getting people trickling in left and right. Ken Rosenthal put out a pretty boomer tweet about it. Got to ignore that. But the reality of the situation is that we do have a lot of stars and guys who are hurt. Another name, Bryce Harper, broken hand, simply won't be there. I think that's a big thing to consider because oftentimes these stars only get one at bat. And while the reserves are still all-star caliber players, it certainly doesn't push the needle to the idea that the offenses will score a lot. Not only that, with reserves, a lot of them are coming on the offensive end, and you're still seeing a lot of these top-end starters go into it. I think realistically for the National League, the ball is going to be handed probably to either Tony Gonsolin or Clayton Kershaw to start. Regardless, with what's juiced up for those guys, I don't see them giving up a run in the first or second inning. And either of those two guys who go, Sandy Alcantara, who in my opinion has easily been the best pitcher in the National League, is going to roll right in behind him. And when you flip it over to the American League side, it's also a very daunting task with guys who have electric stuff, such as Shane McClanahan, Justin Verlander, that are going to be the guys that you see the first 4 innings. And again, I think those innings are going to be shut out. I don't see a lot of balls being hit particularly hard against them just because of what the pitchers possess. As you get into the later part of the innings, the National League has plenty of guys they can turn to, like names such as Joe Musgrove, and the American League can do the same thing by throwing electric relief pitchers like Emmanuel Clase or Clay Holmes. So when I really look at the line total, based a lot on history and what these teams, the pitching being the forefront for both of these squads, I think it really looks like another game that's going to go ahead and stay under 8 runs. Just look at the history of it. Only 3 games since 2006 to go over 8 runs. That's a really tiny number. Yes, it could be a warmer day and the ball could travel better at LA. And perhaps maybe the MLB will even be a little bit cheeky and decide to throw in the juice balls that they do sometimes. That I, at least in my opinion, think they throw in there for primetime games. But for me, still, I think pitching will dominate. When you look at both the staffs, it's littered with superior pitching talent than I think to the offensive talent, again, due to the guys who are going to be injured. So overall, when we're locking it in for this week, I think unquestionably you have to take the under 8 runs. It's going to work out. It's going to slam. I hope you guys tail because I know I'm going to tail my own pick because I wouldn't give that advice if I didn't think it was going to be right. So for VegasOdds.com, I'm Clark Fahrenthold. Hope we make some money this week.